his way to the ring from Chicago, Illinois, weighing in at 240 pounds, Anthony Martin.
Welcome back to OCW Hard Target. Boss, will this be Anthony Martin's day of reckoning? The time has come for him to face the man who he ambushed at Summerside 2023. The man who is called the Professor by the rest of the GOAT support system, led, of course, by the OCW World Heavyweight Champion Aries, who we will see defend his title later tonight. He is looking for the GOAT support system to gain some positive momentum and finally, perhaps, take out one of the biggest headaches in Aries' way, that being El Parca.
There's a saying, looks like $1 million worth less than $1. That's Anthony Martin in a nutshell. Teaming up with Aries and his ilk, it's what they do, Jake Allen. You know, you come together. What is it? Flies are attracted to doo-doo pampers. And, you know, maggots are attracted to rotting flesh. So I guess it makes sense because Aries is a zombie and these guys are all maggots. A hard M for the maggot on that, too. Just lecherous, bile-sucking, disgusting creatures clinging together for any sense of relevancy despite being relics of a bygone era of ugh. Too harsh, Jake Allen? Not harsh enough.
The man, former world champion, international champion, North American champion, tag champion, accompanied by his advisor, his main man, Dennis Dillinger. It is El Parca, and his 2023 has been tumultuous to say the least as he looks to clear his name and become a better version of himself. It's been guys like Anthony Martin at every turn looking to bring him back to the dark side.
Well, you know how I feel about El Parca, Jake Allen. I think he's a piece of trash, a piece of doo-doo, a piece of garbage. But even I have to side with El Parca and the nonsense that's been happening in his current life debacle with the GOAT Society suckers and the ass, whatever the hell, and the academies and all other nonsense. And a fun fact, Jake Allen, how long has Dennis Dillinger been in OCWFED as an advisor? How long?
Been about 5 years at this point.
5 years, Jake Allen. And guess what? In those 5 years, Dennis Dillinger is more relevant today than Anthony Martin was in 2009 as he is in 2023. Was that too harsh, Jake Allen? Was it harsh enough? I'm sorry, Jake Allen.
The man
This is an ass whooping, Jake Allen. This is an ass whooping.
He put his hand out.
Yeah, this is an ass whooping that's due Anthony Martin by way of El Parca. And I'm here for it. I prefer there be a media, but they don't have medias in Louisiana, so I stood up for an ass whooping.
Well, we do have Dennis Dillinger with us here at ringside, but you can see no other members of the GOAT support system, GSS, out here with Anthony Martin. And Anthony Martin immediately caught in the dragon suplex, flash knockout. No, Martin, remember, was involved in that 6-man tag team match a number of weeks ago where B-17 and Mark Reese put him through a table. And he was put out then, but to Anthony Martin's credit, the Professor was able to get back up, and it leads him right here to hard target against El Parca.
The Professor. If that's the case, might as well just call me an astrophysicist. That's the joke, Jake Allen. I can't even count to 5, but I'm an astrophysicist. Never mind, I digress. Back to the action. Jesus Christ, break his arm.
You can see El Parca going right after the limbs of Anthony Martin early on in this match. It's reminiscent Resolution 17 when El Parca faced a similar thwart in KC Barrett. KCB, as he's known in the GSS, or initials.
Also. He's also known as initials.
And we saw what happened, boss. We saw what happened to KC Barrett on the biggest stage. And now with Dennis Dillinger out here and Anthony Martin, maybe even more due for an ass whooping, as you said. We'll see where that goes. But he is unable to break the guard of El Parca until that big moment there.
Someone put up a "I'm socially awkward" sign. I felt seen. Anyway, back to the action. Nice counter by the Professor, but better counter by El Parca. Right to the face, hit him right in his shenanigans. Look at him.
Now, look at the strength on display. We saw the speed. How about the strength? El Parca lifting him over the head and like an alley-oop like maneuver into the corner. Parca bouncing off the ropes and got caught with a boot there. Amart playing a little bit of defense early on, doesn't want to suffer the same fate as his GSS brother KCB did earlier this year, and is now going after the limbs himself. El Parca, of course, a huge history of injuries. Amart's been out of the game for 15 years almost, so you got to think that his injury history not quite as severe, and he knows it. Attacking the back now of El Parca, the cover after the drop kick. Just a 2 count.
Laziness is not an injury, Jake Allen. But, back to the action. Parca tried to roll out, could not get out. Anthony Martin settling on his target, which is acquired for the GOAT support system. I guess, just even saying it makes me want to do more like ass support system. That makes sense.
Never thought I'd see the day where El Parca was fighting for Jason Sensation's best interest, but maybe this is exactly the moment he needed. Now trying to tear the
rip it
arm
out of the socket.
Off of the Professor's body and maybe beat him to death with it, but we couldn't be that lucky as El Parca is countered. That crucifix being used to great effect by Anthony Martin, but El Parca right back in the driver's seat.
Throwing hand bones. Look, every time you say Professor, it's just like, that's like calling you sober. Oh, it's like calling you sober. It's not a thing. Stop it.
Very fair comparison as Anthony Martin got caught with that standing Phoenix splash. That was a wild maneuver there from El Parca. He has always been one of the best luchadors that OCW's seen. Now to the top, going to look to get even more high flying. Dragon running to the outside.
Jesus. I thought Anthony Martin had an answer for that, but much like his life, he didn't have an answer for anything. It just looked crazy. I'll hurt your back, Jake. I'll hurt your back
down
real
on the
bad.
outside. I would have loved for Summerside 2023 to be the official start of Anthony Martin's return to OCW on pay-per-view, but of course we remember the betrayal of El Parca, one of the few men in the locker room to extend a hand. He betrayed him in favor of one of El Parca's greatest enemies in Aries, being attacked at Resolution 17 by the returning Ghost.
I mean, look at his teammates, Jack. Look at his teammates. You have Aries, who's a piece of garbage. You have KCB, or Initials, which is just a sociopath. You have Ryvon, who is mentally unwell, and then you have Devon Flash, who don't know no better. Oh, speaking of knowing no better, nice roll through, gets caught up. Nice elbow, Jake Allen.
That's the difference, I think, right there in experience in this luchador style. El Parca knows when to recognize when his opponent has left the target.
Kill this man.
Was able to land on his feet, and now big springboard elbow. Down goes Anthony
Hit this
Martin.
man.
And El Parca may be setting up for a little bit of trouble in the Bayou. A little trouble in Tijuana. Could it be? Wait. Catching him in a DDT instead, and now the cover from El Parca. Maybe looking to dish out a little bit more punishment. I don't think Anthony Martin was ready to counter the trouble in Tijuana, but El Parca, he's the expert in the ring, not me, and is still taking it to the Professor.
He ain't ready for nothing. Oh, big knee. Sometimes you just got to put him on his misery. Hit him in the face. Send him to Tijuana and Louisiana and the Bayou, and then Mexico and Toronto, every other goddamn place. Chicago, my little nice crack into the jaw by Anthony Martin. Trying to figure out what he's going to do with his life. He went for a modified bingo punch.
Oh, there you go. And he got caught with the trouble in Tijuana just like that. Lured him into a false sense of security. 1-2, no. Martin somehow, some way escaping that devastating kick that has felled so many of El Parca's previous opponents, and he's going to go right back to work on the arms, maybe looking for a big submission victory. That would really stick it to the GSS boss.
Oh, yeah. Pull the arm out the socket, beat him to death with it, maybe grab his arm and swing it around like you're holding a goddamn whirly bird. That's a thing I just made up in my head. Back to the action.
Well, Amart not making up any of this improvement. Of course, we remember he was a little slow to catch back up when he first rejoined the OCW roster earlier this year. But it looks like
snail's pace, Jake Allen.
The advisory from his GSS teammates has gotten him back into contention with a guy like El Parca, who I mentioned at the top of the match has held so many titles. Not a lot of people would have expected this watching Anthony Martin on Ambition earlier this year, but he has grown a lot from the competitor he was, and now these two men engaged in a back and forth.
Mixing it up. Get his ass. Hit him. Send him to Tijuana, Toronto, and Mexico, and in between.
Oh, the arms
got
again.
Him. Slowing it down, baby. Right on the arm. Look at the lock, Jake. Oh.
The hammerlock, and I think El Parca may be looking for that Armageddon submission maneuver. No. Has other ideas in mind. To the corner goes Amart. El Parca looking to dish out even more punishment. Bad intentions on the mind of the Primero.
Trying to get creative. Not smart.
Fly? Oh my God!
Jesus. That's got
moonsault, fall away slam, the cover, and Martin finding the momentum in his reserves to kick out early on that one. But El Parca, smart move here, boss. You got to admit, not letting him have a chance to recover.
Don't let him breathe is what he's doing. He's trying to get some punishment in, which is might bite him in the ass. Got all of that one.
Hey, that's the maneuver that won him the main event tag team match with Lucha Country. But Anthony Martin, whether he had it scouted or not sure if Parca got all of it, but Martin was not going to be put down that easily. El Parca still in full control.
Oh, he's in full control. Take his ass to Tijuana, baby. We'll give him Dila de los Muertos. As I said it, even though I'm Hispanic myself. Gotta mess up the accent.
You said that whiter than I do.
I know sometimes. It's Polo Alo con a Roz. Nice counter by El Parca throwing some ham and eggers to this ham and egger.
Very nice, boss. I don't know if you saw that, but it looked like Martin was coming up with that high knee that we saw earlier in the match, and El Parca catching him with a swift kick to the thigh. And if you have ever participated in mixed martial arts, you know that is nothing to trifle with. 3 suplexes and a double stomp, but Parca comes up short, and there's the knee.
Well, I am a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, but I digress, Jake Allen. Oh! Wrap.
Martin trying to find his bearings again. It looks like he is going to get back in the offensive driver's seat. Sit out, Death Valley driver. My word, what has this man been learning from the top G?
I don't know, Jake Allen, because once upon a time, and I think it's still relevant, that Sense chased after Anthony Martin, but Anthony Martin was just too goddamn fast.
Kick down low, Anthony Martin missing what looked to be the 81 special. Just trying to set up for it, but El Parca's there, and another attack knee. With that knee. You got to give credit to Anthony Martin in this match. He is also not giving his opponent a chance to breathe. Then you get a moment like this, a little grandstanding and hot dogging from Anthony Martin.
Just a tiny bit, big chop. They're just throwing blows.
We're brawling on the outside here in this barricade. It may look padded, but just like the floor, it is still dangerous. You don't want to have your head slammed right into it.
I hate when you do that.
And now the big frog splash from the springboard position. El Parca stepping on the hand. Oh.
Give him his dad to dead. Get rid of his ass. Come on.
The cover. He thinks he just shattered his arm. Is it
Probably,
true? 1-2. Amart kicks out again.
He won't be able to beat off Aries if you break his arm and his hand. You got it. Almost there, Parca. Almost there.
Well, to be fair to the GSS, they got plenty of guys to do that.
That's
but
true.
Right now, one of those men, Anthony Martin, the professor, is being taken to school right now. Half and half suplex, and this is what we were looking for, boss. Anthony Martin getting everything he deserves and more. Trouble in Tijuana. Down goes Anthony Martin.
Do it again.
There's only one thing. Another trouble in Tijuana.
Go for the cover. He's dead.
And Anthony Martin is getting back to his feet after back-to-back trouble in Tijuana kicks. And Parca wants to finish this in one way.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Oh, and maybe his rage getting in front of his eyes. The ropes. Anthony Martin able to grab onto it before that Armageddon could be locked in.
He got it hooked on. Break it on.
No ropes right now. Arm bar locked in on Anthony Martin after the Armageddon. Multiple trouble in Tijuana kicks.
Break it on.
Martin still has something left in the tank. And he's able to counter the arm bar, boss.
Probably steroids, Hoop. Who wouldn't put it past Aries? A little bit of a stare down with these two. I guess the intensity got to them. Oh.
Martin caught Dia de los Muertos.
Finally.
From El Parca, and now maybe finally looking to put this one to rest. An admirable effort from Amart counters the Armageddon and hits with a reverse DDT.
Forget about it, Hoop. Oh, caught his foot. Trying to get cute with it.
He did. C2S, whatever that stands for. Anthony Martin is not going to tell us right now, but he will escape the ring.
Come to school.
To the chagrin of these El Parca fans here in Louisiana.
Come to school because this man needs education. That man, Anthony Martin, he needs education because he's dumb. You get that's a joke. Anyway, back to the action, Jake Allen.
El Parca
Jesus,
with a big
that
time
was grotesque.
senton. Yeah,
That was grotesque.
He was halfway to his feet, boss.
Ugh.
And this is the dangerous territory you get in when you're so blinded by rage, you're missing opportunities to potentially finish a match. El Parca may be reaching that final stage right now. To his feet comes Anthony Martin. Parca, the high district, he's going to take a step on the ropes,
whoa,
and he's
I think he
countered.
slipped on the rope, Jake Allen. Probably potentially slipped.
I think you're right. We've seen that move executed before. El Parca couldn't get his footing on the ropes, and Amar tried to take advantage, but Parca right back in the driver's seat.
Right back on it. It's been Tijuana, it's De La Muertos, it's the front flips and the side flips and other flips. There he goes, trying to make sure he can tap him out nice and center and legally in the middle of the ring. Oh, almost tripped on the rope. God, careful when you're backflipping, Jake Allen. Remember that time he backflipped that one time at that party, the Christmas party. You damn near took out Stacey Clark, you big bastard. Oh,
he's got his arm now and just toying with Anthony Martin and making him suffer here on Hard Target, and he does just that. Several kicks to the head. Got a little dicey there towards the middle, but El Parca regains control and doesn't let it go, just like the arm of the Professor Amar. El Parca stands tall here in New Orleans.
Well, one half of Lucha Country was successful. Now we wait for the other half, a.k.a. Mark Reese. Finally, some demons have been exorcised from El Parca, and the stupid man has been sent back to his stupid room. We got more for you. Stay tuned.